What is going on, everybody? What is going on? This load actually had 26,000 pounds of hot dogs, Frank's, on it. So, pretty crazy, pretty crazy. How's everybody doing today? How's everybody doing? Got my trip sheet all filled out. That's a lot of wieners, that's right. Got my trip. So basically this is how we get paid. So this is our trip sheet. We give our tractor number, our trip sheet, or I'm sorry, our trip number. And then basically where did it originate at, where's the 90 at, what trailer number, just some basic information that you have to send in order to get that paycheck. And the way I understand it, lease does not do this, but so for me, every time that I leave a receiver, before I leave, I try to upload all the documents. That way everything's done and everything's squared away. Now, if you do not do that, you'll get a message through the QC saying that you're not going to get your bonus, whatever. So I guess that maybe company drivers get some kind of bonus to upload that information as quickly as possible. So, just an incentive. So I'm up here in Henderson, North Carolina, and it's not that bad out. It's 52 degrees. It's a little windy, but it's not that bad outside. Got a lot of full blooms driving through the area. See a lot of different beautiful spring colors. A lot of flowering. Yeah, I actually talked to Chad last night. Ralph. Big Greg, I'm doing good. And Big John. Yeah, I can tell you that this week has been a slow week for me. And the reason why I say that is that really starting on the 25th, I delivered, and I had a trailer chute issue where they had actually replaced it. So the trailer had to go in the shop. Then my APU quit working. So I'm like, okay, we'll make it happen. So waited and actually stayed after I delivered the trailer to get fixed. I had an appointment set up for 7 a.m. at Thermo King in Kansas, and basically what had happened was the tube. So Prime puts a metal tube, basically it goes inside of your fuel tank, and basically it's how the APU gets its fuel, and fuels your bunk heater. There's three of them. One's for your bunk heater, one's for, but they got but they're metal instead of like a siphon hose. So Thermo King in Kansas was going to go ahead and use their hose to fix it, but Prime would not allow them to do that, so they routed me to Springfield to get it fixed. So had an appointment for 1600, 1800, something like that, and didn't get in until like 11 o'clock at night, but everything was taken care of. I got that wheel seal, the piece that the stud that had came off on the axle seal was stripped, so got that taken care of. Got my APU fixed, got the trailer. And kind of the weird thing is that sometimes with these Qualcomm, you don't get messages while you're driving until you stop, then they start coming through. So on my way from Kansas to Springfield, my fleet manager messaged me over the Qualcomm and told me to drop the trailer at a location, but I didn't actually get the message until I got to Springfield, and I already had the trailer with me. So, you know, he wasn't too happy about that, but I mean, like I told him, you know, if you're needing something from me that's important, you need to pick up the phone call. I mean, it's phone and call me, because if I'm driving, which you can see on your screen that I'm driving, I'm probably not gonna, you can't understand these messages, because that robot or whatever they try to dictate the messages, well, your fleet manager uses abbreviations and on a lot of different things, and when they try to dictate that, it confuses the heck out of you. So so when I stop, I look at my messages. Other than that, if somebody needs me, they can call me. So anywho, got everything fixed, ready, picked up the load from the yard, and went to Oklahoma City. That's a pretty decent reload area. So night dispatch had sent me a load after, because my appointment wasn't until like I think it was 1800 on Saturday or Sunday. So I got it in, taken care of. Got a message from night shift saying, you want to run this load, and it was that Oklahoma was the only load that I had for the whole week, because I had been in the shop and I had been, you know, everything had happened. It just happened that way. So I told him I need to get some revenue, and they were wanting me to run 500 miles in 3 days. I mean, that don't make any sense. So I told him, I said, no, it's got too much time on it. And I told him I needed some revenue, blah, blah, blah. Got a new message in the morning. Picked up in Elk City, Oklahoma, at a Bar S Food, which I had never been there before. And it paid pretty good. So still, the week will not be in the whole week, even though that I did not run at all, hardly. I mean, I probably didn't run 1,700 miles. But you can look here at my recaps. This is pretty funny. Check this out. Let me flip this around. There we go. Well, there we go. So check these recap hours out. 3 hours, 3 hours, 5 hours, 43 minutes. Then, of course, you can see when I got the load up here, 9 hours and 42 minutes. That's when I picked up this load that I'm delivering. And I could have been here yesterday, but it's a Walmart load, so typically they won't let you in an hour early. So I had a lot of time on there. So I just ran it in today, got me a shower at Love's, and Still got some time on my clock. That way, hopefully, when I finish this load, I can get something and go to a 01 or whatever. At least go get a washout before my time runs out. So that will be good. That will be good.
You have 7 hours and 23 minutes of remaining drive time.
7 hours and 23 minutes. So that'd be good. I got 9 hours on my 14, so I still got, we'll have a whole 8 hours. Of course, this is a Walmart, so everybody knows that it's going to be 3 or 4 hours before getting unloaded. But, and actually, this is the first Walmart that I've been to. Actually, this is the first receiver or shipper that I've been to that they are building a plexi frame around the individual that's working at the gate, which is cool. I mean, kudos. That's awesome. The big thing that I'm seeing is really the drivers not taking precautions, and what I mean by that is, for example, like when you go to a Walmart or a Sam's or really any kind of shipper or receiver, when you're going in there to drop off your bills or pick up your bills, typically there's people in there waiting for their bills as well. In this place, they've actually got X's where you need to stand, and if there's too many people in there, they're asking them to stand outside, and if you don't do that, she said that she will not help you. So that's what I'm seeing a whole lot of. I mean, I'm just seeing a lot of people wearing gloves, but using their phone, using their steering wheel. I mean, that defeats the purpose of the gloves. So that's just wanted to kind of give you guys what I'm seeing out here right now. I would like to get routed through the house, because I mean, I've been out here and yet I've been able to go home, and sleep in my bed one night because I had a little bit of time on my hands and just made it up that way. But I've been out here since I think like the 23rd of February, maybe earlier than that. I think maybe the 16th. So been out here for 6-8 weeks. Then but you really don't want to go home because there's nothing to do at the house. You know what I mean? Like in Kentucky, the governor's actually issued that nobody in Kentucky is able to leave the state without being quarantined. You leave the state, get quarantined. But he did an executive order to say no Kentuckian can leave the state. Bear with me, guys. So that's pretty hardcore. But there's they've got a Facebook group of nothing but memes from our governor, putting a smackdown on people and talking about Tennessee, because Tennessee is bad as far as compared to us. I mean, I think we're like 395 people that has it in Kentucky that's been confirmed. But what are you guys seeing out there? Prime won't take anyone from Miami. Yeah, they won't. They're not doing anything from Florida at all. They haven't been doing that for a while. Sounds illegal to me. He's the governor, man. He put the smack down. We're actually we made the nightly news as far as how fast that he jumped the curb, and how we're one of the lowest states out here with the coronavirus because of, I mean, he started putting the smackdown on social distancing probably early March. Everybody else was, mid-March, and some people like Texas, I mean, they're still out. I mean, everything's still open in Texas. So if you guys ain't going to be careful and be cautious, this thing is going to get wild on us. It's going to get wild. But basically, just being in the truck it's quarantine for me. I only go in when I got to go, use the bathroom or grab some food or whatever. But I'm cautious. I don't have any hand sanitizer, so that's straight up alcohol. So my hands are super. I don't know if you can see that or not, but I mean you can see they're cracking really bad and they're dry. Just because I use this. I mean, I use it all the time. I mean, I've got my Clorox wipes, then I wipe down my steering wheel and my phone, my QC, my things that I'm touching all the time. Big things like my door handles. I'm just being cautious. Just being cautious. But I am I'm ready to go to the house and chill. But like I said, it ain't going to happen until probably everything kind of lets up a little bit. Because my wife, all she does is work, go home, work and go home. The sucky part about it is they're talking about until, June 1st, things won't be back to normal. And, my daughter gets married on June 6th. And it is a very, very real possibility that we've already talked about this, and that, I mean, can you imagine going to your grandkids 20 years down the road, 15, 20 years down the road, and think back to this moment that we're having right now, and where everything's kind of locked down. Funerals having to be held from remote, nobody allowed with people in the ICUs, people dying alone. I mean, this is a crazy, crazy time. I hope to be on a cruise in June 6th. Hope it happens, keeping my fingers crossed. And I don't know if I'd be on a cruise. I wouldn't probably be on there until at least next year. I love cruises. I've been on my fair share of cruises, but I mean, they need to get this under control first before I go on a cruise. Well, must be this trailer over here. Well, they are running this trailer. I mean, they are hammering it. You can hear it. It's like slamming up against the wall. I wish I had my phone earlier. There's this lady walked in. She's probably in her, I'd say probably in her late 40s, early 50s. And she had a shirt on that I'm not exaggerating. And I mean, like, her belly was hanging out the bottom of it. and I mean, you could literally see her belly button. The shirt was pulled up that high, and I just looked at her, and you know, and I'm like, is that her belly? And it blows me away how, you know, some people just let themselves go out here on the road. Just let themselves go out here on the road, man. Oh, nobody's gonna see me. I'm not gonna do this. Nah. You gotta take care of yourself. Gotta take care of yourself. So what's everybody out there doing? I ain't getting my daughter already, she graduating from college, and it's a very real possibility that she's not going to have a ceremony. You know, things like that is really, I think, it's kind of what's hitting people pretty hard. I mean, I get it. A lot of people can work from home and do different things from home, but I mean, the things that we take for granted, such as weddings, funerals, being with the family, and I'm not talking about your immediate family, I'm talking about, like, you know, if you got, you know, all my grandparents have passed away last year, and one passed away this year. But, well, actually, no, she passed away in December, right before Christmas. So, being able to have them around it's just it's a crazy time right now with the way everything is with this virus. This virus is crazy. It's for sure. It's for sure. This guy's pulling in the side of me here. I was watching him. But man, we just trucking along, delivering this bologna, some hot dogs. Hopefully get a load up out of here going. There's a nice guy right there, man. Work for the same company. He opened up the door for him. That's pretty cool. What he got in there? What's he got in there? He's got some. I don't know what he's got in there. I thought it was ramen noodles for a minute, but it doesn't look like it. Yeah, I'd like to get a load going up toward the house. A little bit of time on it to stop by the house, and need to get some supplies for the truck. I've not been able to get. I've got things in here that I need, but like I'm running, like my paper towels, I only got one row of paper towels. I got 2 things of the Clorox wipes, which is plenty. I'd like to get some hand sanitizer. I mean, that alcohol's fine for right now, but once the alcohol's gone, you know, those finding alcohol on the shelf in the stores is, I mean, I was lucky I found that. But be able to regroup. Got my Hall's Defense cough drops. They're not really cough drops, they're just basically for your vitamin D, I think is what it is. Vitamin C. Yeah. So, but I'll drink some more juice every other day. I make sure my defense levels are up there. Yep. Check this tree out. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but there we go. What's up? I know you can't see it very clearly right now, but that purple, that tree is super pretty. There's like a lot of it's a flowering tree. The foliage on it's like the big purple flowers just hanging down on it. Kind of like a weeping willow, but it's not a weeping willow. But guys, you guys be safe, and you have a good one. And I'm gonna just sit here and chill. Hopefully, I can get this taken care of, this load, and get it knocked out and get out of here. My worries is that when I was picking this load up, they said that they were waiting on, everything was picked, but they was waiting on one product, and I had 524 cases. And if I was a betting man, that was those beef franks, because I had 26,000 pounds on there of the beef franks. So I'm hoping that I'm not short, or I don't have any overages. But they gave me a form, and they said that if there's any shortages or overages, go ahead and have them fill out this. So that wasn't a very good sign for me. So I'm hoping that everything is as they ordered, and we get this thing wrapped up, knocked out, and get to the next load. You guys be safe and have a good one.